What's good everyone, it's Switcher here. Let's talk all things G-43 and how to get it gold as painlessly as possible. This gun wasn't thrilling me at the start of this grind. It wasn't the world's best gun to get leveled up initially, but it's pretty fun by the time you get towards the later levels, so do stick with it. This is roughly what I was running for, I'd say the majority of it. I switched out the scope occasionally for the 3x6, and this got switched around with the full auto occasionally. But for the most part, it stayed mostly the same. If I ran the full auto, I also made sure to run the 20 round mags. But apart from that, nothing really changed. Quickscope went to tight grip on occasion, but there was no major changes that you need to be aware of. So without further ado, let's check out the actual camo challenges themselves. Start off, we have 300 eliminations, of course. Super easy. You're going to complete this as you complete everything else, so nothing to worry about. And then we have 100 headshots. Again, you're going to complete this naturally. I'd be incredibly surprised if you don't. You can treat this like a sniper in hardcore and you should be good to go. You're going to rack these up. Don't worry about it. And then you have 100 multi-kills. Can seem quite daunting when you first start to use the gun because it doesn't feel like the sort of gun that can get multi-kills. Definitely go into hardcore. Definitely make sure you're using it as a longer range gun, and you'll find a lot of people doing similar challenges with similar guns trying to get long shots, and usually there's enough that you can pick up multi-kills. Or if you want to run it like a slower, kind of like a heavy AR, that's a good way to pick up multi-kills as well. It's personal preference, but hardcore is definitely the way to go. Then we have 5 kills without dying 30 times. I know a lot of people struggle with these. I tend to complete them pretty naturally in my gameplay. With the way that I used it, because I used it as a sniper rifle, I was usually sat so far back that I was finding 5 enemies to kill before anyone could usually figure out what angle I was shooting them from, so I didn't have any issues. But as always, if you're really struggling, you can get 4 kills with any weapon, any equipment, and then switch to this gun for your 5th kill, and it will count as a Bloodthirsty. Just something to bear in mind if you're really struggling. Then we have 100 long range kills. Deck it out for fire rate, accuracy, firepower rather than fire rate, anything that increases the damage, and you should be good to go on hardcore. Probably on core as well if you want to try that. I haven't personally, I did this entire thing in hardcore, but that's definitely worth checking out. Pretty easy, use it as a sniper, you'll get one-shot headshots at almost any range. And then we have 100 close range kills. I did this all in Das Haus in about 4 games. Incredibly easy to do. I switched out a lot of attachments, put on the full auto, the 20 round mags, anything that increased kind of ADS, sprint to fire time, made it as snappy as I could. And then you can play pretty ratty on the kind of thinner corridors. If you're anywhere within those corridors and somebody walks through either side and you kill them, it counts as a close range kill. That's how I use kind of my marker, but the close range radius probably a bit bigger than those corridors. But that's how I tend to do it, just to give myself like a marker of where I'm at with it. Super easy, rattled through these in Das Haus. As of recording, shipment isn't out, but shipment would also be a great mode to do this in. Pretty standard stuff I feel by now. Then we have 50 quickscope kills, which did surprise me, didn't expect to see this in here. The quickscope, if you don't know, is when you scope in quickly and then take the shot to kill someone very quickly as soon as you scope in pretty much, and then release. I thought this was going to be a lot trickier than it was, so one, do it in hardcore. You stand a much reduced chance of getting quickscopes with this in core. And then, I didn't test it, I only used the 2.5 times optic and above just to make sure red dots might work. By all means go out and test it. I personally just didn't. The 2.5 times or the 3x6 times scope is what I used, and I just spammed the left trigger. I was holding some longer lines of sights and just kind of chilling, and I just kept spamming the left trigger on points I knew people walked around. So as I was scoping in, hopefully I'd catch them and get an easy long shot. Otherwise you can play quite aggro with the 2.5 times scope, and then chances are, as long as you try to ADS before you kill someone as you round a corner, it should probably count. Wasn't that difficult at all. Pretty standard once you get used to the feel of what it wants for a quickscope. Then we have 100 ADS kills with the .30 10 round mags, the MS02 custom stock, and the quickscope proficiency. Super easy. You just scope in, sit back, on hardcore, have a nice time, hold your angles, get your kills, go home. Super easy. Then we have 100 kills without taking damage from that enemy with the full auto barrel, ZP padded stock and tight grip proficiency equipped. Make sure you got the 20 round mag on. It's the first one you unlock for the magazines that I used, and you should be good to go. In hardcore, you could probably do it in core as well. I prefer hardcore because it's very much a kill or be killed situation. If I've taken damage, I'm probably dead from that enemy. If I'm dealing damage, they're going to die very, very quickly and not going to have a chance to get a bullet into me and kind of ruin that kill as it is. Super easy to do, no issues here. It's just a case of holding some fairly ratty angles to make sure you can rack up lots of kills before anyone really figures out where you are. And if you get shot in the side by someone else as you're shooting your target, it will still count as long as the enemy you're killing doesn't shoot you. Then we have another 100 ADS kills with the burst barrel, 20 round Klauser mags and the Fitzherbert reinforced stock. Again, super easy. ADS kills, the burst barrel is a ton of fun to use. Any scope you want, I use the 3x6, go into hardcore, hold some angles, get 100 kills, boom. It really is that simple. Not challenging at all for the 3 attachment challenges, which, you know, I'm not going to complain about after doing some of these other challenges, but that should have your gun nice and gold. As always though guys, if you want to check out any of the other guides, if you're looking for something else, there is a playlist with them all on the channel. We're going to probably rattle through another of the marksman rifles and some SMGs going forward. I am also working on the pistols slowly. I'm not a massive fan of pistols in any Call of Duty game, so finding the motivation can take a little minute, but we'll get there, we'll get there. If you have anything you want me to level up desperately, get gold, give tips on, let me know in the comments. I already have the machine pistol on the list, amongst a couple of other guns here and there that I personally think people might struggle with. Let me know in the comments if you've got anything else you want to add to that. As always, if you did enjoy the video, give it a like, subscribe if you want to find your way back. Hope you all have a good day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.